योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Hello friends, today we will understand budget administration, program and performance budgeting. Let me introduce the topic to you. The management is efficient if it is able to accomplish the objectives of the enterprise, and it should be done with minimum effort and cost. In order to accomplish long-range efficiency and effectiveness, management must chart out its course of actions and strategies in advance, because of which budget administration assumes a lot of importance. Program budgeting has also gained importance as it lays special emphasis on formulation of different budgets for different programs. It is mainly useful to government departments and non-profit organizations. In this unit, we will explain the program budgeting as it integrates all the organization's planning activities and budgeting into a total system. In India, the movement for performance budgeting gained momentum in the mid-50s as there has been a considerable increase in public expenditure as India felt the need for stabilization of the economy, equitable distribution of wealth, and need for rapid economic growth. Since there is tremendous growth in public expenditure, it becomes essential to control and regulate the increasing public expenditures and to infuse efficiency in it. Seeing the importance of it in this unit, an attempt is made to explain the concept of performance and program budgeting. The Administrative Reforms Commission of India report submitted in 1968 also recommended the introduction of performance budgeting both at the center and in the states. Objectives. We are going to discuss points such as to provide an understanding of meaning and purpose of budget administration, to provide an understanding for the budget administration principles, to provide an understanding of budget organization and administration, to understand the concept and framework of program budgeting, to provide an insight into performance budgeting, to explain the objectives of performance budgeting, describe the steps in performance budgeting. Meaning of administrative budget. Administrative budget is defined as an official, in-detail financial plan for a future period for a business. In this budget, amount is allocated to run the business. In accounting, it is defined as the part of your budget that is not linked to sales, construction or manufacturing. The general and administrative budget or G&A budget includes everything that a company has to spend even though it has stopped all its selling activities. In other words, in the absence of sales also, the company has to incur expenses like rent of building, consulting expenses, salary and benefits for the executives and support staff, depreciation charges on office equipments, premium on insurance policies, and so on. It recognizes all those expenses which are not attached to manufacturing a product or service. This budget becomes visible on the income statement as general and administrative expenses. This budget is usually prepared by an office manager to predict what the non-selling expenses will be for the period. Let's understand the meaning of administrative cost. It is an expense which is incurred for controlling and directing an organization. It is not directly associated with financing, marketing, or production or manufacturing. It covers the salaries of senior executives and covers the cost of general services such as accounting, contracting, etc. Administrative expenses are costs related to the general administration of the business. This category of cost does not relate specifically to any business function such as production and sales. These costs are incurred at the corporate level and not by individual departments or business units. These costs do not directly contribute to revenue generation. Examples of such costs are executive salaries and bonuses, professional fees such as legal, consulting, audit fees, office supplies, subscriptions, salaries and wages of personnel performing staff functions like the accounting department, human resources, etc. Budget administration principles. The first principle, principle of annuality. This implies that a budget is prepared every year on annual basis. 1 year is considered ideal period for budget because it is an optimum period for which one can afford to give financial authority to the executive. Executive also needs this much time to implement the budget proposals effectively. Most of the countries adopt this phenomena of budget formation. Rule of lapse. It implies that the money which is unused or left unspent in a year must also lapse to the public treasury, and government should not be able to spend it unless it is resanctioned in next year's budget. This is called rule of lapse and is useful as an effective tool of financial control. Fiscal discipline. Budget should be balanced and should be able to display comparison between the income and expenditure. This is known as fiscal discipline. Inclusiveness. Budget should be complete, all-inclusive and comprehensive. It should include diverse budget estimates. An inclusive budget includes all government, revenue and expenditures. Accuracy. Budget figures are essentially predictions of the amount of money to be generated in the forthcoming year and its expenditure. The budget administrator is accountable for its formulation with the help of the data and material from the various departments. These estimates need to be accurate and precise. A budget should record actual transactions and flows. Authoritativeness. A budget should ensure that implementation is in line with appropriate laws. Transparency. The budget should provide information on spending which should be made public, timely and understandable. Pursuing good governance is very essential in budget administration. It should ensure the basic principles are followed. In budget administration, the chief budgeting officer should take care of the various issues like administering the system of release of funds, monitoring expenditure flow, preparing in-year budget revisions, managing central payment systems, bank accounts, administering the central payroll system, consolidating accounts and preparing progress reports. The chief budgeting officer is also responsible for policy implementation, reviewing progress independently or jointly with spending agencies, identifying policy revisions where appropriate, proposing to cabinet reallocations of appropriations. In budget administration, the spending agencies also assumes a lot of importance. They assume responsibilities related to allocating funds among subordinate units, making commitments, purchasing and procuring goods and services, verifying the goods and services acquired, preparing request for payment, preparing progress reports, monitoring performance indicators, keeping the books. The spending agencies also assumes responsibility for policy implementation, periodically reviewing the implementation of the program, identifying problems and implementing adequate solutions, reallocating resources among sector programs. Now, let's understand budget organization and administration. In organizing and administering a budget system, the various characteristics may apply. budget centers. These are the units responsible for the preparation of budgets. A budget center may encompass several cost centers. It represents the segment of the organization for which budget is prepared. According to the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants UK, budget center is a section of the organization of an undertaking defined for the purpose of budgetary control. The budget center is under the control of a responsible officer who is accountable to the management for the proper implementation of the budget. The establishment of cost centers helps in the budget evaluation. Budget committee. This may consist of senior members of the organization, example, departmental heads and executives with the managing director as chairman. Every part of the organization should be represented on the committee, so there should be a representative from sales, production, marketing and so on. The committee establishes the budget procedures, collects and coordinates the relevant data, and prepares the final budget, which is then communicated to various budget levels. Budget committee has the responsibility to resolve the conflicts between various units of the enterprise relating to various budget matters. Functions of the budget committee include: the budget committee is responsible for coordination of the preparation of budgets. The budget committee is also responsible for issuing of timetables for preparation of budgets. It makes provision of information to assist budget preparations. Budget committee is also accountable for comparison of actual results with budget and investigation of variances. Budget officer. The budget officer has to control the budget administration. The job includes tasks like acting as a bridge between the budget committee and managers responsible for budget preparation. Also deals with budgetary control problems, ensuring that deadlines are met and educating people about budgetary control. Budget manual. It sets out the responsibilities of the various executives concerned with the budgeting systems. According to the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, England, Budget Manual is a document which sets out the responsibilities of the persons engaged in the route of and the forms and records required for budgetary control. It is a document containing the essential information required for the construction, administration and execution of the budget. This document helps in detailing the budget procedures, contains account codes for items of expenditure and revenue, timetables, the process and clearly defines the responsibility of persons involved in the budgeting system. It also gives details of periodic budgetary reviews and the forms and procedures necessary for such reviews for enforcing budgetary control. What does a budget manual contain? The main contents of a budget manual are principles and objectives of the budgetary control system, responsibilities of persons engaged in a budgetary program, procedures to be followed for the preparation of budgets, details of periodic budgetary reviews, essential records to be maintained, reporting and communication system to be installed, scope, period and areas of budgets, principal budget factor. The principal budget factor or limiting factor, as it is often called, is the key constraint in the system for the particular budget period. According to the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants UK, a principal budget factor is the factor the extent of whose influence must first be assessed in order to ensure that the function budgets are reasonably capable of fulfillment. A company may be limited by the amount of service or volume of products that can be sold to the customers. Thus, sales is the principal budget factor due to slack demand. Budget period. This is the period or time for which the budget is prepared and remains in operation. The length of period depends on the nature of business, the production period, the control aspects, degree of risk and uncertainty, financial resources, economic conditions, etc. Generally, the budget is prepared for a year by most organizations. Now, let's understand an important aspect of budgeting, that is the program budget. Program budget. A program budget is a framework with the help of which the business allocates its resources to different departments and activities. It helps in the management of the cash flows of the organization. A program budget is a budget prepared specifically for a project or program. This type of budget includes expenses and revenues related to one specific project. No revenues or expenses of any other projects are mixed with this particular project. A company takes various projects at the same time, and it is essential that it defines the goals and objectives of each project along with its budget which it has undertaken. The allocation of resources is done for each project, and it should monitor the performance of the project and assumes accountability. Let's understand the concept of program budget with the help of an example. ABC Limited is in the leather business and it receives multiple orders from different clients throughout the year. One of the clients gave ABC Limited an annual contract for which the company prepares a program budget by including all the incomes and expenses related to this client's single project. No other project shall be considered, and hence the program budget focus would be only on individual projects. Program budgeting was developed by US President Lyndon Johnson. It is the budgeting system that describes and gives the detailed cost of every activity or program that is to be carried out with a given budget. This budget is opposite to conventional budgeting. In this budget, for a proposed program, expected results are stated, the resources needed in terms of raw materials, equipments, and staff cost. All this together constitute the program budget. The program budget format plans funding for specific programs. Once the budget is approved, appropriation is made to specific items. The focus is on programs rather than on specific items within a program. Let's take an example. The ABC Community Foundation incorporates the various details regarding their incomes from various sources like income from contracts rupees 8,30,000, funds raised rupees 2,21,000, grants received rupees 60,000. So, total income amounts to rupees 11,11,000. Expenditure details about its program rupees 4,40,000. So, total program expenses is 4,40,000. The administrative expenses for the program are salaries rupees 2,40,000, health insurance 85,000, dental insurance rupees 15,000, rent rupees 25,000, gatekeeper salary rupees 10,000. Insurance rupees 13,000, supplies rupees 35,000, utilities rupees 22,000, education allowance rupees 18,000. So, total administrative expenditure comes to rupees 4,63,000. The total expenditure consists of program expenses and administrative expenses comes to rupees 9,03,000. The surplus for this program is rupees 2,08,000. Program budgeting provides a more rational basis for resource allocation decisions by identifying data on cost and benefits and by providing measurements of effectiveness and efficiency. Program budgeting was first evolved in United States. In Britain, it is referred to as output budgeting. This kind of budgeting is mainly used in government departments and non-profit organizations. Different budgets are formulated for different programs. An organization should first identify the various programs for achieving different goals of the organization. Each program should be then broken into different elements. Resources such as materials, manpower, machines, tools, equipments, utilities, etc. are then allocated to various programs over the period. Forecasting is an important aspect of program budgeting, so the studies mostly focus on multi-year forecast in programmed budgeting. Finally, measuring the actual performance of approved programs and comparing with the budget performance. It is quite difficult to have an output criteria of measurement for non-profit organizations unlike monetary or profitable organizations. The non-profit organizations are using output indicators like in case of training programs, the output indicator would be number of employees trained in a given period. For health programs, output indicator may be reduction in diseases. Having a program budget does not mean that there is no need for traditional budget. In fact, a program budget adds to a new dimension to planning and budgeting system. An efficient program budgeting should possess these characteristics. Program accounting. It is an accounting system of attaching accounting data to specific programs where details regarding the resources used or budgeted for each objective are mentioned. Multi-year costing. It attempts to identify cost with a project for its whole life and not just for the future budget period. Detailed description of the activities should be given against which evaluations will take place. Zero-based budgeting. Program budgeting makes use of this kind of budgeting. It attempts to review and evaluate ongoing programs as well as new programs to justify all resources. Benefit cost analysis. Evaluation of cost with the benefits is a must in program budgeting. Let's understand objectives of program budgeting. According to American Presidential Order, the main objectives of program budgeting is identification of national goals with greater precision and determine the priority among goals. To develop and analyze alternative means of achieving the goals. The objective is to project the long-term cost and associate them with the benefits of each program. Proper evaluation will strengthen the control over programs and would analyze the same in relation to cost. Advantages. This budget helps in setting the priority of the projects. It monitors the allocation of resources to a project and determines how they are used to meet the goals of the organization. It helps in identifying areas where cost reduction can be implemented and savings can be made. It helps in identifying the areas where higher levels of funds are required. It adds accountability to the organization. Since each project has its respective budget, performance measurement can be done and firm accountability can be set. Disadvantages of a program budget. A program budget requires a lot of information and it is very time consuming. Moreover, during the year when any changes must be made to the resources required, it becomes very difficult to achieve a balanced budget. It becomes difficult sometimes to evaluate the performance of the project. Multiple layers of administrators govern a project. So, finding out the actual performance of any administrator can become a intimidating task. Now, let's understand the concept of performance budgeting. The concept of performance budgeting was used by the Hoover Commission in the US in year 1949 for the first time, and it was applied to the defense budget in the 1960s. It may be defined as a budget based on functions, activities and projects. In this budget, the input cost is associated to the end results. According to the National Institute of Bank Management, Mumbai, the performance budgeting is the process of analyzing, identifying, simplifying and crystallizing specific performance objectives of a job to be completed over a period in the framework of the organizational objectives, the purpose and objectives of the job. It involves the evaluation of the performance of the organization in the context of both specific as well as overall objectives of the organization. Performance budgeting aims to formulate programs and their evaluation to ensure that program objectives are achieved. It presents public expenditure in terms of functions, programs and activities. It represents government revenues and expenditures. On the other hand, the line item budget emphasizes staff, furniture, equipments, etc. According to the opinion of Burkett, performance budgeting can be most appropriately associated with a budget classification that emphasizes the things which government lays. Performance budgeting shifts the emphasis from the means of accomplishment to the accomplishment itself. In the words of Administrative Reforms Commission, a performance budget is a technique for presenting government operation in terms of functions, programs, activities and projects. So, in simple words, it represents public expenditure reflecting governmental project outputs and its cost. It prepares a statement indicating the work done, proposed to be done and the cost of carrying these out. The main force of performance budgeting has been on providing output-oriented budget information within a long-range perspective so that resources could be allocated more efficiently and effectively. This kind of budgeting establishes a relationship between inputs and outputs. Its emphasis is on accomplishment rather than on the means of accomplishment. Sometimes, due to financial constraints, resources may not be available in full and a cut has to be imposed. The Indian government accepted performance budgeting and initiated the process of change gradually and cautiously almost 2 decades ago. In almost all the departments at the center, the system has been introduced. Some of the states like Maharashtra, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh have introduced performance budgeting in a large number of departments. The progress has, however, been very slowly in most of these states. It is therefore necessary to take note of the gains and limitations relating to performance budgeting. Performance budgeting would help in combining the gains and embark upon problems, and this makes performance budget an effective tool of internal financial management at all levels of government. Objectives of performance budgeting. Performance budgeting aims to correlate the physical and financial aspects of programs and activities, to improve budget formulation, review and decision making at all levels of management in the government machinery, to ensure more effective performance audit, to measure progress towards long-term objectives as predicted in the plan. Advantages of performance budgeting. A performance budget must give specific indications relating to the task, the resources which will be used to achieve the task, and the cost associated with them. In case of traditional budgeting, we do the same thing, but performance budgeting is a step ahead as the organization is forced to think of their future activities not just in terms of financial plans but also in terms of the results and responsibilities. If planning is a thinking process, budgeting is a doing process. Performance budgeting is the tool to integrate the planning and doing process. One has to identify the complex programs which need to be subdivided to facilitate execution in specific areas. Each program or sub-program further consists of many activities which are shown in the respective budgets. For example, Tuberculosis Eradication Program is a program under the function Health. As each program has many activities, provision for storage of vaccines could be an activity. Going from home to home and creating awareness would be other activities under the program. The real commencing point in the budgetary process is allocation of resources. In the conventional system, primary emphasis is laid on the previous level of allocations and spending, and no emphasis is laid on its performance in terms of its objectives and the program of action that it has set out for itself for the next year. Under performance budgeting, the primary agency prepares the budget, submits its requirements as per program classification. It indicates its past activities, their cost, and the activities to be taken up during the next year, the results expected, and the pattern of assignment of responsibilities. It enables the correlation of the physical and financial aspects of every program and activity. The existing budgetary system does not make such a correlation possible. The very basis of the performance budgeting is commitment to achievement and the awareness of accountability. The budget so prepared is reviewed at higher level and resources are allocated keeping in view the priorities of the proposal. More effective controls are possible with the performance budgeting as it helps to gear the process of decentralization of authority in tune with the responsibility. Performance budgeting aids in improving the public relations. Performance budgeting helps in improving decision making and management of programs and objectives, which provides indirect help to the administrative authorities. It clearly shows as to what was done in the previous year and at what cost, both unit-wise and program-wise, which is a major help. Now let's understand the limitations. In performance budgeting, classification of governmental work into functions, programs, and activities is to be done, which may not be always possible to have such well-organized categories. Sometimes the classification made is so broad that it cannot reveal the important activities of the department which could serve as the basis for budgetary decisions and management. The cost estimation and its allocation is a complex task. Moreover, the cost-benefit analysis becomes a challenging task most of the time. Not all the cost centers would follow performance budgeting, which has made the budgeting less realistic and less useful. Let us sum up now. These days, program budgets form an important part of any large organization. They provide the basis for allocating the company's resources to a project in the right manner. It not only brings efficiency and effectiveness to the organization but also lays down accountability. It helps to divide the activities under different sub-programs for a particular project. Such budgets help in achieving the goals and objectives of a business in the desired manner. Performance budgeting is a system of presenting public expenditure in terms of functions and programs reflecting the government project's output and its cost. It serves the purpose of long-range planning. It must be remembered that performance budgeting is a tool. Performance budgeting can provide a meaningful basis for administrative planning, executive coordination, legislative scrutiny, and administrative accountability at all levels of government. We can conclude that a performance budget is prepared in functional categories like education, health, medical care, sanitation, or agricultural development. Each functional category is then divided into programs. For instance, education may be divided into higher education, secondary, and primary education. Each program is thereafter divided into activities, which in turn are divided into projects. To be more precise, training of school teachers is an activity, whereas construction of a school building is a project. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you very much.